Welcome to Rope Talk After Dark. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Idorsha, and I'm just steaming my face. Yeah, a little bit of self-care for the weekend. Hello. You know, a little trick that I do is that I add argan oil and I add vitamin E oil to the water, and then it just steams that right into my skin. Yes, it steams it all into my skin. I have this little trinket on Instagram. You know, when you're scrolling and it's like, this is one of those purchases. But it's beautiful. Self care is always needed. Nobody's going to tell you when to take care of yourself. So you got to do it. Make sure you do it. And steaming your face is always beautiful. You can even go down to your neck. Hello. I'm just saying, get into it, guys. Get into it. So today's topic is expectations. So let me just put the little steam off. Expectations and being your biggest cheerleader. So just because you have siblings and mom, dad, etc., do not expect them to always support you. Unfortunately, sometimes, yes, it hurts, but we expect our family and our closest friends that we kind of consider them family members to support us in whatever journey, whatever endeavor, whatever we want to do, because we we want the individuals that have always been in our lives to support us, but unfortunately that's not always the way that it is. um and that can be hurtful at times, and I completely understand that. I've spent uh few times arguing with friends because I can be someone's biggest cheerleader. I can be there for them. You know, I am that friend that I'm there. You know, if I have the last shirt, I'm giving it to you. And sometimes being that friend, you can also kind of do the service to yourself. So I had to learn that along the way of not being upset anymore and just realizing that people are not that you know are not always going to support you. Sometimes your biggest supporters come from individuals that you absolutely do not know. Like my biggest supporters, sometimes even with this YouTube channel, is countries and individuals that I met throughout, just networking. So shout out to Morocco, India, China, Jamaica, Panama, Peru. Everyone is checking in and they're from all over and they're watching my content, but it's not individuals that I know, but sometimes we get lost in the process of, dag, they should be there. I was there. I was there for them. And it's valid. Your points are probably completely valid. You have been that individual, that sibling, that friend that has always been there. But when it's your turn, for some apparent reason, people cannot return that same energy back. And it can be extremely hurtful. I completely understand that. Sometimes we expect the same thing from our parents, and our parents can be extremely toxic. Just because someone gives birth to you doesn't mean that they sometimes even know you. Because some of you guys understand that. Some of you guys understand that you're with parents that they don't even know you. They froze in time, the little you, and forgot that you grew up and you have your own, views of looking at certain things. And especially in this pandemic and this crazy times. And you sometimes want a little support system to even try to do something that's outside of your box, but sometimes you're not going to get that from your main individual. So that's why it's super important to just try to find a network that of creators or whatever it is that you want to do, a network of individuals that kind of understand the path that you want to walk towards, that you want to take, that you just want to experiment with. But yeah, sometimes our parents are not there. I remember hearing this video with Gary Vee. He was a young lady was asking him a question, but she was like, I really want to do this. I really want to do that. But I'm under my parents' roof and it's really toxic. They're not supportive. They're not this. And he's like, then leave. He literally said, leave. And then sometimes it's easier for someone to say, hey, just get up and leave. But reality is, a lot of us cannot just get up and leave. Some of us can, some of us cannot. Certain situations, circumstances are different, but I completely understand what he says. You have to find, you have to leave, but in the meantime, find or create a space for you to be creative, for you to flourish, for you to write down the thoughts and the things and the steps that you need to do to execute certain things or to get out from a toxic environment. That is always super important to do. Just don't make the environment around you just kind of like control you and make you lose focus on what you really want. Because sometimes I get it, when you don't have a support system, it is easy to go left. It is easy to just venture off. It is easy to give up. It is easy to doubt yourself because we see the typical, I guess, positions that you're supposed to have, or the careers, I should say, that you're supposed to have. And if you are in a family that you're not venturing off into particular or into those particular careers, you're considered maybe the black sheep. But maybe it's not, you're not the black sheep. It's just something that they have no idea. They have no knowledge. And a lot of our parents sometimes they I guess parent us the best way that they know how. And that means sometimes they weren't even given good structure. So how can they give you good structure? All you have to be mindful of is to not repeat that if you decide to have children. But yeah, some of us, that expectation and being someone's biggest cheerleader, you have to remember that you have to be your own biggest cheerleader. You have to be able to, in the midst of when it hurts, when things you don't understand things, you have to be able to research and have someone or something that you can do to just kind of clear your mind. But if you're one of those individuals that have an amazing support system, man, kudos. Like, you have to give these individuals, you have to sometimes call them and say, thank you, I appreciate you, because there's a lot of individuals that don't have that support system. We expect people to be there for us. We will love it. It's a beautiful feeling, but reality is a lot of us don't get that support that we want to. So even here in YouTube, they always tell you that sometimes, I've heard many stories of individuals just saying that, when they told their friends or their family that they wanted to start a YouTube channel, they will say, you're crazy, or that's not for you, or you're not of age, a whole bunch of things. But what they fail to understand is that YouTube, you connecting with everyone. And if you check out your analytics, you know that you're connecting with individuals that are in their teens, and you're connecting with individuals that are 65 and above. You're connecting with individuals because somehow, some way, you are just giving them that, whether it's you're making them laugh or you're teaching them something new. We are always checking out how to do this, how to I'm always checking out how to do protective styles and grow my natural hair. So there's always something, there's always a content out there in YouTube. So don't ever make them, they're just saying that because they're not content creators. They don't understand that this whole world, because if you understand this whole world, it's a lot more than just, you know, videotaping and posting. Everyone knows this. But yes, I definitely want to come on and just let you guys know that it's okay. It's okay if you don't have a support system. Create one. Create one. It is okay, because sometimes when you're expecting so much from individuals, you get highly disappointed when you don't receive what you were expecting. You know, man, I look back at certain things and like, man, usually people will jump on the train or on the boat, whatever the hell they want to call it, or the saying, when they see, like, when you're progressing, when they see that you're consistent, when they see that you're really taking your craft seriously, and there is some kind of positive feedback from it, you're doing different things, then people start, I guess, chiming in or coming in. But You know your core audience, or who was there when you were scraping $2 together. You understand what it is, because of course we want someone to connect with our content, in the YouTube world. But it's just not in the YouTube world, it's everything. Whether you want to create a business outside, whether you want to start dancing, whether you want to model, whether you want to act, whatever it is. Sometimes people tend to put all their fears on you, because they're like, no, no, you can't. Either you're too old, there's this, there's that, there's a gap. And no, because even individuals in different age categories, they watch everyone's content. If your content is what they enjoy, if your business is what they enjoy, if they enjoy if you're selling a shirt, a hoodie, merch is coming, but whatever you're doing, they will they will honestly purchase and support you because they enjoy it. You make them laugh. Or if they like something that you're selling, like you see me with my little trinket, and I felt like this is like my self-care. I'm not able to go to the spa right now because I don't want to go and walk around with a mask all the time. So this is kind of like maybe my weekly spa, and inhale, exhale, and all that good stuff. So yeah, don't have expectations. Don't have I know it's kind of like, how can I put it? You should know what you're expecting from yourself and what you're not going to put up with, right? But in regards to others, don't have any expectations. Even when it comes down to like you're with an intimate partner, sometimes you feel that your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, etc., is supposed to support you, and sometimes they absolutely don't even know. They don't have a clue how to, or they just don't want to, or they think is retarded, or it makes absolutely no sense. They just don't get it, so they just start saying negative things, and then it kind of plays with your psyche. You kind of like doubt yourself, and second guess everything that you're saying based on what you're allowing into your space. So it's super important to create your space, like I was saying before, whether it's outdoors at a park, in a basement, in a garage, in a room. Make the scene, light the candles if you have to, turn on the music. you know, you are your biggest cheerleader. You always have to remember that. You are your biggest cheerleader, you're your biggest supporter, and others will definitely follow along when they see your magic. I think when they see, because I think we all want to be seen to some extent. And what I mean is that you just don't want people to like just, oh yeah, 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 I know this person. No, you actually want them to maybe take the time and say, hey, I really see her. I see what she's doing or he's doing. And and it's okay to tell people when you see them, like, hey, I see what you're doing and you're doing an amazing job. It's okay, because that's energy that will eventually be returned back to you, because you're being, you know, kind to someone and you're just telling them the truth of how you feel. But yeah, don't have any expectations. When you have expectations, sometimes you set up yourself for complete failure, and it hurts. And you don't want to get hurt. Absolutely. Expectations are like, I wish, and I don't know, sometimes some of you guys would probably say, it's easier said, etc. I get it. But when you reach to that level of, I know it's me against me, that's it. You do not need anybody else. I think that we all gain a lot of associates and some friends along the way. And of course, our family, we can't help but have them around because they're family. But if they're toxic, if the people around you are not fueling your fire, then you need to definitely reassess them, or how often you see them, because they're not bringing out the best in you. Expectations. If you want things to change, you have to do things differently. You can't just keep repeating the same thing and expect someone or a different result. If you want a different result, communicate with different people, read if you love to read different books that you haven't read before. If you're more of a visual learner, watch more videos that you know about certain content that you want to know more about. So it's really about educating yourself. That's what learning, it never ends. Not even when you become a parent, you're learning, because there's no manual, there's no right or wrong way of parenting. Is what really works for you. And then along the way, when your kids are growing up, you have to pause. You're always going to be the parent, but you have to pause and try to listen now, because they have reached a point that they're young adults with their own minds and own their own way of looking at the world and looking at society. So you have to be able to listen to that, even if you don't agree. So don't have any expectations, you know, expectations for like from others, you know. If they come, they come. If they don't come, they don't come. Like, no. But yeah, do you guys have, do you guys usually have expectations? Like, do you expect a lot from others, or is it whatever it is, you really don't. So have you maybe placed yourself in a position that you kind of wanted people to be your cheerleader, kind of wanted people to be there for you, and unfortunately you were let down because you were expecting something that they were not able to give? So on whatever journey, whether it's fitness, entrepreneurship, education, whatever journey you're in, just know that you're going to be your biggest cheerleader. And sometimes um, people don't realize that even when you're being your biggest cheerleader, people will say, oh, that person is too cocky, or that person is too this, or that person is too that. No, you have love yourself. Love yourself until you cannot love yourself anymore. Speak highly of yourself. But there's a difference between speaking highly of yourself and being proud of yourself and then putting others down in the midst of that. So there's a very fine line. So you have to be very careful with that one. But expectations, don't have any for other people, you know. Be your biggest cheerleader. Expect absolutely nothing from anyone, and just let the universe bring all the individuals that are supposed to stay into your life. Let the universe bring everyone that is going to help you grow in whatever endeavor you may have, because just because someone has the same blood as you does not mean that they're going to support you. Just because you know somebody for 10, 15, 5, 20 years does not mean that they're going to support you and be there for you. And you guys know this. You guys know it. Think about the trips and think about things that you probably, businesses that you probably created, or just when you want to sell something and just trying to get one person that you know to purchase it, how hard that is sometimes. There's some that you'll do it right away, like, all right, I'll support you. And there are others that if you ask them, hey, can you share this in, to my, in one of your platforms, they'll be like, no. Or they'll be like, oh yeah, I'll get around to it. But that's their way of like procrastinating. So hopefully you forget about it. So that's what I said, don't expect anything. If people do it, fantastic. If people don't, still carry on. You're still you. Keep growing, stay positive, and positive things will come your way. So thank you guys for tuning in to another Real Talk After Dark. I hope that you guys are enjoying these episodes. So much more to come. I'm super excited for the Valentine's Day special that's coming up, all these different businesses that brought the items, so I can reveal it to you guys and bring it to you guys. And also the businesses that no, not the businesses, the questions, because I have the Q&A, so I'll probably pop up the Q&A here so you guys can leave questions again there. I think I have so far 14 questions from so far all social media platforms, so there's still more time left. So drop those questions and I'm going to answer them on Valentine's Day, either live or I'm just gonna record. I'm just gonna record and post it. But there's some good questions that I cannot wait to answer. So yes, guys, thank you so much again for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.